compared to other ones, it's apparently armored in some way. Uh, if I turned my invincibility off and did this jump right here, I would still not take much damage compared to a normal monster truck. I would have blown up already with normal. This one, if I did that with invincibility off, I probably would have survived still. Another really stupid thing about this game, it's kind of not really put together all that well. I mean, you can destroy just about everything in the game, but those certain things you can't destroy usually end up being the things you need to destroy. Such as freaking certain walls that won't blow up for some reason, halfway in the ground, usually. There's also things that apparently stop you, like, I'm in a monster truck and a telephone pole just stopped me, but the car didn't. There's many things that this game hasn't fully worked out, I guess. Overall, it's a good game. Not a very long storyline. Very interesting with what goes on. You can order in just about everything you need in the field. The only things you'll ever find in the field that you can't order are the Chinese and American patrol boats, which in some ways I wish I could call those in. I mean, those are the only real things. And then battleships, of course, because they're here and there, but they don't really seem to be movable. They're more placed automatic automatic vehicles that kind of shoot at you if you shoot at them in a way. Another thing you should know is the game's divided into 5 factions. The Americans are Universal Petroleum and the Allies. The pirates are kind of the natives to the area, so are the Venezuelan army, but they're not counted as a fraction for some reason. Chinese and People's Liberation Army are basically the same thing, just for different countries. Chinese and the People's Liberation Army of Venezuela work together in this. Certain fractions won't shoot at others, but apparently the Allies seem to be on good terms with the friggin' People's Liberation Army for some reason. You can drive around in an Allied vehicle around about 3 fractions and not get shot at, but any other you only got 1 or 2, which I'm still a little skeptical about. I'm not sure if it's the same for the Xbox 360, but... And another main thing, I freaking still haven't figured out why, but after you start working with the Allies for a certain amount, or the Chinese, the scrap box things, apparently they just randomly get freaking given to you. I mean, otherwise you gotta go around and collect all 100 of them. But after you get like to 70% or something, you freaking start just randomly getting them. Ah, jump time, yay. Oh! Only got 1 hit out of that whole gunfight. Another cool thing about this game is this pretty large open world. You can get bored pretty easily if you don't use everything you've got in your inventory. I mean, you want to test out everything as much as you can before you go online, that is. Because online is completely different in some aspects. Another thing you really need to be worried about, in a way, is what your friend's able to bring to the table when online. You want to watch out when they call in such things that need satellite tracking, because just to give you a taste of what a satellite tracking weapon can do, I'm just gonna make it boom for y'all, but I'm gonna call one in. This is a pretty simple one. It costs a lot of fuel, but it does a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive too. Right. They use a stealth bomber to bring this stuff in, so watch as the whole freaking map around me explodes. As you can see, that was a carpet bomb. It's pretty useful as long as you're lined up with your target, looking right at them. But you can't really designate one little target with that. So if you're gonna use something like that, most satellite things like spray and pray kind of tactics. Another thing you gotta be worried about is your environment, because there'll be a lot of stuff going on constantly. There'll be a lot of factions, there'll be a lot of people. So if you get like nervous for some reason about big fights and stuff, or you don't like wasting equipment, best thing to do is get the best equipment. Most people buy cheap and a lot of it, so that if it gets destroyed, they just call it back. Once you get or start using the cheats, you'll realize that won't really matter. As cheats allow you to basically stock up on everything available in the game, except for, I think, 3 items that are unique to one person or thing. Otherwise, yeah, see, stupid thing. Otherwise, all you gotta do really is enjoy yourself, blow up everything, just kill whatever you want. I will run basically a demonstration in a sec. Let me get the right helicopter first, because I like certain helicopters. Ambassador is unique with its anti-air slingers, I guess. Airstrikes. I'm gonna use the nuke, because everybody loves nukes, of course. I want something, a getaway vehicle maybe. Horse motors. Oh, wait, nope. There's problems with that. Not exactly a problem, but I know what I'm looking for. Panzer cycle. I'm gonna show you what happens if you get on a fraction's bad side real quick. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing where they completely get angry at me, but I'm just gonna do it to the point where they try to call in reinforcements. I'm not basically not gonna let them. But the main part about this is in campaign you really need to be careful about this. If you go after a fraction and you have the enemy fraction already as your ally, you get money for killing your own friends, basically. Let me find some. Alright, here's a couple. But one thing you gotta worry about is if you see on my little radar, there's a blinking strobe and there's a timer. They're trying to call in for reinforcements. If they complete that, you begin to lose your happiness thing or whatever with the fraction, which can become bad over time because you won't be able to do certain missions. But as long as you manage to kill them or get far enough away quick enough, you won't have to worry about that entirely. I just love blowing up everything in this. Another thing is you can see that once you complete the game, there's a lot of choices you gotta be careful about. As you can see, I kind of had to finish the game to get a certain thing, but if you don't want the nuke to hit, you might want to just complete it once and save before your very last mission. Do 2 main missions with both of the last fractions. Do the last one with one fraction just after quick saving. because either way you go, one of the fractions get nuked, and it takes a whole chunk. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it takes a chunk out of the map where you can't even try to go anymore. So it's very annoying. Um, all in all, I think that's all I will do for this video. I guess next time you'll have to see what the heck I can do in Flashpoint. If you know that game, you'll be sure as heck surprised. Maybe not exactly completely surprised by my skill, but more surprised at how crazy I am with that thing. Alright, nukes are my favorite because you can guide them in. If the laser would lock onto something. Alright. What? No, no, no. Alright, that ruined it. Do not know why that happened. Just gonna forget that happened and call it in again. See, this is what I love about cheats in a way, is you just have infinite supply of whatever junk you want. I think it would help if I got off this hill. I think it hit the other side of the hill. Alright. Let's see if I can hit the oil rig. Pretty sure I can. Yeah, I can. And there she goes. Not yet, and boom. I think that might have blinded someone who's looking at the screen, but there's you a nuke. It fades off really easy, and it doesn't seem to actually do a lot of damage. Compared to the Moab, it's about the same. Moab is more of a C-130 drop, or cargo plane if you prefer. And it's dropped and parachuted in. The only real difference is the response time. The nuke is faster, more accurate, but if you're calling it in right where you are, you got a problem. The Moab, you can run away if possible. Few tricks to this game. If you know something's about to explode, don't look directly at it in a way. It won't flash as bad. Unless you're in a helicopter. Alright. I think that's about it. Well, if you watched this all the way through, please subscribe and hit that like button. And I thank you for sticking through with me. Well, thank you. And see you again, I hope.